Like, I absolutely hated myself. I thought everything I did was wrong. I thought, like, everything. Like, I was just like, yeah, I hated myself. And it makes me sad, like, thinking back that, like, I felt that way about myself. And that, like, I never talked to anyone because I thought if I spoke to anyone about anything that I'd been through or anything I'd done to myself, that they would just be like, how could you be so stupid? My coach would think, like, how the fuck could you be so stupid as to, like, waste your ability by doing that to yourself? You know it's not good for you, kind of thing. So I couldn't tell anyone, and I was exhausted. Like, obviously I gained weight when I was at Plymouth. I was eating a disgusting amount of food. Yes, I was throwing a lot of it up, but I was still consuming a lot of food, and I was not educated in how to eat properly. And honestly, I couldn't care less about being educated in it at that time, because all I wanted to do was punish myself and reward myself, and it was just this horrible cycle. I remember being, like, really not in a good headspace for World Championships trials. My coach pulled me aside a week before trials. He grabbed me by my arm and pulled me on poolside, and he was like, and he won't remember doing this, this is the sad thing, is that something like this never left my mind. He pulled me aside, he said, you've gained weight, and he was like, here and here, and you need to sort it out. And I was like, I fucking know, bud, like, is what I wish I'd said. Like, I know, like, it's all I think about, it's all I care about all day, every single day, is how much I weigh, what I'm eating, and how much I hate myself. I promise you, I know more than you that I've gained weight, but thanks for letting me know. And then he went, there's nothing we can do about it now, because trials are next week, but when we get back, we'll have to devise some sort of eating plan. And I thought, fan-fucking-tastic, fantastic. Let's just go to trials then and feel really confident and happy and ready to race. So I arrived at trials, and I remember not wanting to get out of my clothes. At this point, I would think I was 71 kilograms again. Can I just put it into perspective right now? I'm a 5'10" girl, borderline 5'11". I'm on the high end of 5'10". I weigh 80 kilograms now, and I am happy in my body. And I am not fat. I'm 80 kilograms right now. And there is me sitting on poolside, 71 kilograms, literally could think of nothing worse than getting undressed because... So I ended up swimming 200 backstroke, and I put 7 seconds on my PB, and I was just distraught. I was crying. I was secretly throwing up, even though my roommate was in the room, so she couldn't see me do it. So I was not feeling myself right. I was crying all the time in private. I thought I was fat. I thought I was unworthy. I thought I was a disgrace. I thought, you're not mentally strong enough to handle this type of pressure. I was told that a few times. So it wasn't a good time. And I remember after swimming 7 seconds on my PB, I remember being approached by one of my coaches, and they went, well, we know why that is, don't we? And I was like, yeah, it's because I'm a fat bitch, isn't it? Cheers. Like, what is going through your head? Like, as a coach, I hope to fucking God some coaches are watching this thinking there's more to just, like, taking the pressure off your shoulders as a coach and thinking, like, it's very easy, we can just blame it on that, so we don't have to address the fact that this person is struggling. Because you saying that to me isn't helping anyone. It might be, like, satisfying your ego for 5 seconds, but didn't help the situation. So that obviously made me feel worse. Anyways, as I said, that was during my Pole Plymouth time. It was just a whirlwind of things like that. A whirlwind of comfort eating and punishing myself and hating myself and quit. It was just horrible. So I quit, and I was finally free. And I thought, this is amazing. Like, I was just like, I can't handle it. So I moved out of the boarding house for swimmers, and I moved into the boarding house specifically for not day students, like college students, like people were there from like Germany and China, and it was just like general international students, or like, and I'm gonna try and hurry this up before my camera dies again from overheating. It's just because I'm too fire. Okay, so as I was saying, I'd quit swimming, I'd moved boarding houses, now I was like free. I was living in the college boarding house, and so whenever I felt like anxious or upset or out of control, like I needed to binge, like I couldn't stop, like I didn't have the willpower to like not eat and like just be healthy and just be normal. Like I wish I had someone to talk to, or I wished someone had talked to me about going through the same thing, and I didn't feel so alone and so stupid and pathetic. Like, anyways, that summer I ended up going to Canada because one of the girls I'd met on my like whilst I was living in the swimming boarding house was Canadian. So she was like, come to Canada this summer, get away from England, get away from everyone, just come and see me. She lives really close to a lake called Banook Lake. I'm going to pop a picture of it, hopefully here, but if I'm shit at editing, like there will be no picture and this will just be funny. But so hopefully here's Lake Banook, and I just spent 3 weeks there. It was amazing, and I tried kayaking because she was like a really good kayaker, but honestly, like it's the hardest sport ever. You have to use your core. Like basically like left the dock in the boat and just like fell like straight in the water like an absolute. And was always like, you should never have quit swimming, like you're really good at swimming. And I was like, don't even talk to me about swimming, like I never want to hear even that phrase again. I'm never going back to swimming, like don't even try. So she worked on me for a few weeks and was like, I really think you should start swimming again. I don't think you quit for the right reasons, like etc etc. And I was like nah. And I was like, I don't want to deal with the pressure of starting up again in England and like having people be like, ooh, Phoebe's swimming again, and but she's shit. And I don't know why I thought people cared, because realistically, like no one gives a fuck about anything that you're doing. Like they just care about themselves because everyone deals with their own things. But I thought people cared. So I messaged my parents and was like, guess what? Like Phoebe's going back to swimming, moving to Eastern Michigan in January. And they were like, what? Like, no, you're not. They had been through the 3rd degree with me and my swimming and the mental struggle. They were like, absolutely not. Like, so they wouldn't sign the forms. So I was like, why are you trying to ruin my life? Like, went through a bit of a tantrum. So I decided, fine, I'm staying in Canada. And they were like, fine, stay if you want. So I was financially independent in Canada, living with my friend and her family, and starting swimming again. So I ended up training with a local team, which was so happened to be the local university team called Dalhousie University. Again, I'll try and link it. It's going to be hard. And it was the Dalhousie Tigers. And my plan was only to train there 4 months, get confident again, go back to England, and then end up going to America within a few months of that. That was the general idea. But I absolutely fell in love with this team, made me feel like family, and I felt loved again. And my coach was an absolute gem. I'll try and find a picture of me and him, pop it up here. I keep saying this, like, I'm never going to be able to link these things. And I'm just like, hey, look at this, link here. Like, it's just going to end up being like a video of me being like, look here, and nothing's going to be there. So hopefully here's Lance, is his name, and he acted like a second dad to me. He could see how much I was fucked up in the head, and he really helped me psychologically, talked to me, tried to get me to feel confident again, and ended up competing. And I swam the second fastest time I'd ever swam within 2 months of joining swimming again. And let me tell you, I was 80 kilograms in Canada. And it wasn't muscle, it was not muscle, it was definitely body fat. And I was like so self-conscious because all I'd ever thought was 71 kilograms equals obese. Now I was 80 and I thought there's no chance in hell I'm going to swim well, but my coach and my teammates supported me and they thought I was fantastic, and I swam the second fastest time since that Youth Commonwealth Games in 2011 that I'd ever swum, and I could not believe it. I broke a minute for the second time in my life. I was honestly over the moon. I could not believe it. So with regards to my eating disorder, I had episodes in Canada and I never fully felt in control of my guilt towards eating badly, although I did get better, and the episodes got less, and finally it just sort of fizzled out is the best way I can describe it. And as I started to develop more self-awareness, I stopped and admitted to myself that I used to have a problem. The most important thing that I think is to like try and share any experience that I've been through that could possibly help myself and help other people that are struggling with the same thing. And what I want to tell people who are struggling with the same things that I struggled with is that don't be scared of your parents or your coaches, because your parents want what's best for you. My parents wanted what was best for me the whole time. They wanted me to succeed because they thought that's what I wanted. And they got caught up in it, and that's one of their biggest regrets, is getting too caught up in it and not realising how much it affected me. But at the end of the day, if you're open and honest with your parents, it's not a weakness. They're not going to think you're pathetic, and they're not going to be mad at you. No one's going to be angry at you for how you feel, because how you feel is how you feel at the end of the day, and no one can take that away from you. Your coach, he or she are employed based on the fact that they get people to perform. So them saying harsh things to you is because they've got pressures to make athletes perform. So they're struggling with their own pressures to perform as a coach, and they project that onto their athletes. And if they're mean to you, it's because they've got an ego. That's basically what it is. They've got an ego. They've got a reputation that they want to uphold, and they can take it out on you if they're feeling like they're not a good enough coach. I didn't achieve everything that I wanted to achieve, but I've got to a stage now where I'm proud of myself for who I've become as a person through those experiences, and all I want to do is like better myself and hopefully help people in the process as well, and that's absolutely fine. So sometimes you don't have to be standing on the top podium at the Olympic Games to be a good person and share a message, and I hope that this video shows that you didn't have to end your career on a high to try and spread a message and help people, because at the end of the day, life is just about finding confidence within yourself, really, and if you can do that, then you can be happy. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it is relatable to even one person out there, because it's helped me talking about this. Feel free to drop me a message if you are struggling currently with anything, or just let me know what you think of this video if you watched it, which is probably going to get about 10 views, but who gives a shit. This is not the last you're going to see from me. So have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed this video again. Bye!